How's it going, guys? It's Ralph here from Beyond the Huddle, and welcome to this week's Bitcoin forecast. As always, we're going to get started with some COT analysis to see what the asset managers have been up to. Then we'll move on to the SMI to give you guys the sentiment of what the spot market has been doing, whether there's been accumulation or distribution happening in the market that could potentially let us, to get the lows or the highs. And then, last but not least, we'll wrap it up with some price action to look at the volume profiles using the BTH indicator, and then our USDT bias levels and whatnot. So with that being said, guys, let's get started. Okay, so getting started here with the COT, you can see that there's the CME contract for Bitcoins, and the asset managers have actually increased their longs by a total of 262. To a total of 6,118. That is actually a new all-time high in longs. Pretty wild, especially since the market has fallen, 50+% from the highs. And the shorts have also increased this past week, 63 contracts to a total of 718. Now, if you remember from last week, the asset managers now here, you can see they are 89.5% long. Last week, we were about 89.9. So that was pretty high, but, again, going down 0.44 is not that bad at all. That's actually pretty bullish still. Again, what we want to see is to make sure that the asset managers, the players, the big players in this market, we want to make sure that they're always mostly overall long, right? So let's go take a look at the indicator that we have here for the COT to see how that looks, because again, the only way you're going to see the change in the trend of these lines is by using their averages. So you can see right here, this is the average of the shorts. If you double click on this, you select the data, we can look at the shorts here. And again, even though the shorts went up a little bit, you can still see that they are, from down here, they went up a little bit, but they're still below the average. Is exactly what you want to see. And like I've been saying, what we're going to keep monitoring is it going to do a fake out here? Like it goes above 1 week, but then the following week it goes below, up 1 week, kind of like consolidation at around the average? Or will it do something like what happened back in September when the market went insane for a 500% rally? That's the September of 2020, where it just fell out of bed, and then it had 1 week out. It had a retracement, and then it just kept reduced. It stayed reduced for a while. So you can see I've had this measurement on my chart right here, this measured price leg, for quite some time now. And again, the similarities, for those of you that are new to this, is that this right here, you can see how it's green right there, and I don't quite know. So let me do something here. We're gonna go to style, extend left, extend right. We do not want that to happen. So you guys can see here, let's also change the color. We want to make it white, something, or grayish, something a little less annoying when you're looking at it. So there it is, right? So you see this matches here, this matches here. So even though prices have dropped, like I said, 50%, well, that's not even the high, but yeah, about 50% plus from the high, they stayed net long. Okay, so the difference between this price leg here and this price leg here is that the short stayed below the average there, but then they increased above the average here. Okay, so that was very, very big. And yeah, we just want to keep an eye on it to make sure that they stay below, because then that would mean that we would expect long-term bullish prices. Now we just need the price action to catch up, and that's what we're going to talk to you guys a little bit later on about the volume profiles to see what the important zones are, and also the USDT bias to see if all your USDT crosses should be bullish or not. So with that being said, let's move on to the SMI. Okay, guys, so moving on now to the SMI. That's our short-term and long-term market sentiment indicator. And basically what this does is that it tells us the sentiment based on analyzing of the exchanges and how people are positioned in that sense. And then we can see if there's overall more accumulation or overall more distribution in the market. So we can compare this sort of like what happens in the COT, where they have to report their positions. Okay, so we can see right here that this one came in at 3 in the morning today, and you can see right here there was some distribution. So we actually Last time we saw us might have looked a little bit different. We've been messing around a little bit with the colors in the legend, and we ended up at the moment coming up with just distribution right here. So you would expect to see, look for reasons to be a seller, to be bearish, depending on the time frame that you're trading, whether you're a short-term trader, intraday trader, or swing trader. And then when it turns white, that is neutral. So you really don't want to, you don't have much of an edge either way. And then every time you get a bar in green, that means that the market is accumulating. But the one that you really want to pay attention to is when it goes to strong accumulation. That's this blue one right here. And that's when you want to really, the market is I guess you could say it's oversold, or you could say too many people or a lot of people are accumulating. Okay, hence the word accumulation, strong accumulation there. So as you can see right here, the big one right there, it was basically a swing high, swing low, and then right into that supply zone, which this was also the monthly value area high, the quarterly value area high, and then we, sold off. Now, I will say this, back then, if you guys remember last week, although this was hitting resistance, my USDT monthly and weekly levels were right around here. So if someone was short-term trading, they would have had this, and actually we did talk about this in our premium group with the members, and some of them did see this. I don't know if they took the setup or not, but I'm not a intraday trader. They are leverage traders. I do that for Forex. So maybe they took advantage of this. I did not. I waited until we went below our weekly level here, and then I made the decision to cut some off. The sentiment was definitely distribution, and that meant that you should have been looking for reasons that potentially be bearish. And then again, this entire time, although it is green, and you can see little tiny bounces, the one you want to be waiting for, like I keep saying, is this one right here, and that's when you want to be pulling the trigger. And guess what? As this was happening, Bitcoin was hitting the bottom of our volume profile, which is the monthly value area low. That was the exact low right here, and I'll show you guys that in just a little bit. But if we scroll here, and this actually comes in, I think every 8 hours we have it coming in right now. So if you zoom in, if you keep scrolling here, you can see right here that now we see more data, and it did have a pretty decent bounce from about 37K to about 39K. Is what it bounced. And then you can see right here that the rally led to a little bit of a cooling off period where we went neutral, and that neutralness was enough to make it retrace. But again, you really aren't looking for sell signals until you see the red, right, the distribution. So yeah, that's what I have here. Again, right now, if you look at the short term, there is some pretty decent accumulation, especially since it's anchored off this strong accumulation here. And if you look at the long term, the same thing is true. So I would be looking for any reason to be a buyer based on the SMI, and based on the COT, we are the same way as well. So let's take a look at price to see exactly what that's telling us based on the USDT bias level and based on all our volume profiles. Okay, guys, so welcome to the price action and volume part of the video. And here we want to start off with the USDT bias level. And basically what that does, as the name suggests, is that it gives you the bias for the USDT prices. Okay, so at the moment, unfortunately, I didn't think this would happen, but we are actually below our monthly level. So that's currently suggesting that the month of February will actually close as a bearish candle. Okay, and you can see right here that we're also below this green zone, which is our weekly USDT level, and that means that the week should also close bearish. Now, there's a big distinction between this giving us the bias and then using the volume profile. So that's why you need both of them, because the volume profiles tell you how far that bearishness or that bullishness is going to go. Okay, so just me knowing that price is below this monthly zone is not going to tell me how far down prices are going to go. Okay, so that's why we use the volume profiles, and each color has a different time frame. So in this specific case, if you guys are brand new to any of my videos, what I kept talking about was actually, I misspoke earlier, it wasn't the quarterly value area high, it was the quarterly value area low, and it was hit right here. That's the white. Let's just get rid of that for now. We do not need it. And then you can see right here that what we ended up hitting was, we hit the quarterly here, and then we came back, boom, and hit a second time the monthly. That's in blue. So we hit it once here, twice, 3 times, 4 times. So we hit it somewhere around 4 times. And that right here, so this initial one was when the SMI was bearish, and then the second time right here, it was even more bearish. If you guys remember, right here, That's what I was talking to you guys about earlier. And then we fell. Okay, now when we fell, you see right here, that's when the strong accumulation hit, and what was waiting for us right there, well, that was right there, the monthly value area low. So the idea is that because we rejected off the value area high, remember I was waiting for me personally, because I'm a longer term trader, I was okay with giving up about a 6% drop to then make a decision whether I should stay in or get out, right? So I ended up waiting, although I knew we had bounced off strong resistance on the bearish, on the distribution, right, from the SMI. And then my idea was that as long as the green line, so then again we have different time frames. So my weekly time frame is my quote unquote decision time frame. So that one's going to guide what the quarterly and monthly one does, right? So if we stayed what I call bear trending, which means you're below the value area low, that means your prices are going to aggressively move to the other side of the valley area on whatever time frame you're working on. So again, because we had hit the valley area high on the monthly, and then the weekly time frame turned bearish, look what we're going to do. We're going to go down to hit the monthly valley area low. So the kicker here is that once you hit the monthly valley area low, there's two things that need to happen, okay? Yes, obviously the SMI is going to get more bullish, because as prices drop, people are going to be buying the market. But one, what we're interested in most of the time is a strong accumulation, right? So when it turns blue. And two, you also need to have gone back above what? Your valley area low. So right now we're still bear trending. That means that even though we hit this as a quick little support, at the moment, I should not be making decisions to get into this market again. So that's one of the reasons. And then the second one is that we're still below the USDT bias level, which again suggests that this weekly candle should be bearish. Remember, it does not tell you how far down it'll go. That's for the valley area. And the valley area is already telling you it's bear trending, which means it's aggressively bearish. There's a very thin liquidity where we're working within right now. And that means that prices are potentially able to fall. You see right here, right now on this candle, let's go to the 15-minute candle. You see how aggressive these moves lower are? And that's exactly what the type of stuff that happens when you're looking at these type of time frames. So let's go to the 1 hour so you guys can see it a little bit better. But yeah, these are the two time frames. After hitting this value area low, I'm not entering there. I'm waiting for the confirmation of the reversal, which would be around this zone right here. And then once we go above that, then we have to go above the monthly. If not, again, this monthly candle of February is expected to be bearish. One last time, it does not tell you how far it's going to go. So for a monthly candle, I am stuck between this blue line. That will be my range. Think about it in ranges. Blue line, value area high, and blue line, value area low. So I'm bearish if I'm below this zone right here, but then I can go down as far as this right here. Now, if we were to break this, and that's what I was going to go into next, then you would be bear trending on the monthly. So that means you're going to hit some aggressive prices. And you guys remember what happened last time we bear trended. Let me go up another time frame and show you guys. Last time we bear trended on the monthly, this aggressive move down happened, and this ugly move down happened as well, okay? So that's what happens when you bear trend. So imagine what would happen if we bear trend on this monthly. My next target would be what? This yearly valley area low. And I absolutely cannot see it go below the yearly valley area low. If that were to happen, I am no longer a bull in this market, even if the COT does look nice. So if it does get hit, I would expect some sort of, games to be played around, maybe some aggressive, $1,000 to $2,000 price action, and then a quick rejection. Seriously, if we do break that, I want nothing to do with this market until we do reclaim it. Because then I would be a bear, and I would believe 100% that we're in a bear market. Which, again, in either way, as you're working your way to that, your weekly models should be bearish like they are right now on the USDT level, on the monthly level, and on the value area for the weekly. So you shouldn't even be in the market anyway as you're working your way to these levels. So it's not like you're just, I guess if you're like a super long time frame person and you don't care about a 25% drop, then yeah, you could be holding on up until that level, and that's completely fine. It just depends how active you want to be in the market and how reactionary to every down and up move you want to be. So yeah, that's what I have for you guys. At the moment, at least, I'm expecting that yearly value area low. Even if it does get hit, I'm expecting it to hold, some sort of a false breakout, fake out, stop hunt, whatever you guys want to call it. If it does get hit, because we are bearish at the moment, right? Remember, we're bear trending. We're below the value or low of the week. We're below the monthly USDT level and the weekly USDT level. So again, mark it on your charts. I've been talking about it for well over a week and a half now. 36.5 is the level because that is the monthly value area low. If that gets broken, then I would be targeting the $30,000 level, somewhere on there, because that is the yearly value area low, about 30,050. Okay, so like I was saying, I am so bullish because of the COT, and I want to see this SMI. Again, we should be looking for reasons to buy, but because right now it's not very high in the accumulation, again, I want to be really a buyer when this turns blue. There could be a move lower to then turn it blue again, okay? But either way, it doesn't really, at the end of the day, the SMI hits, it confirms that there is people that actually accumulated, but then the value areas and the USDT level is what's going to get you into the market, okay? Like back here, I should have, and I was, right? We were talking about it in the members part of the Discord. We were talking about the bearishness here, and then when you looked at this, then that kind of just gave it away. Like, oh yeah, people are actually, in the broad market, the smart money is actually distributing, okay? So that's how you want to do it. So with that being said, guys, I hope you found some value in this. Again, one last time, I will be bullish if we go back above this. Everything will be fine. And then I could start expecting this and then this. And if we go above these levels, then we'll bull trend, but we can talk about that later if and when it does happen. So if you found some value in this, please share it with your friends and family. Glad to have you guys around watching these videos, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.